All right, so my name is Fermi, and I've been studying undergrad in CUHK under hotel management. And after I graduated, I'm currently enrolled in part-time master program. And as part-time master programs, most students do not have dormitory in CUHK, so we have to find our a place to live on our own. Right, so I spent around 3 months searching around this region for like an ideal location to live, and in the past 3 months, like it was last year actually, I spent the first month I was looking along the NPR line and trying to understand what housing is like in Hong Kong because I've spent 4 years living in our school hostel, so I didn't really understand how the housing market is like, the rent, the size of the apartment, and like how big exactly is 200 square feet. Like I have no idea what that looks like. So I took around like 1 month doing that. Then my second month, I decided to live in Sha Tin, and I spent 1 month looking at the different like buildings in Sha Tin to understand how they look like, because different apartments have different prices, they have different sizes, and like depends on like which month there might be low seasons because there's other graduating students opening up their vacancies for new students to rent the house. So there's going to be a time when the supply is bigger than demand, and that's when it's ideal for students to rent the house. But when the demand is high and the supply is low, that's when the housing price is going to rise. So the difference, I guess, is going to be around 2 to 3 thousand. So it's quite a bit. Right. So I took 3 months to find the previous house that I was living at, and the first 2 months I was just trying to understand the area. The last month was when I actually rent the house that I was going to live in, because if you talk to the real estate agents, they're going to tell you that it's best for any person who wants to rent a house to rent around 1 month before, because all the houses like 3 months before you actually want to rent it are going to be leased already. So like because the demand is pretty high around this region, so if you really want to look for a house, it's better off to just start actually looking 1 month ahead, because all the other houses are going to be gone by then. I chose Sha Tin mainly for two reasons. It's close to CU. It's only like 2 stops away, and then it's very convenient. There's all the food, the restaurants, and I don't know, all the shopping malls, centers, everything is around here. So it's a really nice, convenient place to live in, and especially if you don't speak Chinese or Cantonese, it's easier for you to communicate with people here. So I found my previous house through a real estate agent, and for this house, I found it through a friend. So the difference between finding your house through a real estate agent and through a friend is that the real estate agent is more like a sales. So they're gonna try to recommend you the most expensive house he can find. And because if you don't know anything about the housing market, you might fall for the first one, which I actually have a few friends that experienced that. So that's the problem with real estate agents. And if you don't choose the expensive house, they're going to show you some not so ideal houses, and they're going to try to show you that, oh, for this cheap price you can only get this kind of house, and if you want anything better you have to go and pay a lot. So you're going to get, I don't know, tricked into paying for the more expensive option. But if you find a house through a friend, the friend is going to hope that you will benefit from a lower rate from outside, and also if the friend also knows the landlord, then the friend is also going to hope that the landlord is going to find a trustworthy tenant, because students overall are pretty trustworthy compared to other random people off the street who are interested in renting your house, because you might not know what the random person is going to do, but as a student they know that you're just here for studying and you won't do anything stupid in the house. Yeah. So the main difficulty I encountered in searching houses, of course, I was trying to find a house 3 months ahead of time because I thought that was more smart to do. But then in the end, I learned that it doesn't matter if you spend 3 months or just 1 month, because in the end, you're only going to find the house that you want 1 month ahead at max. And also that the biggest problem is that without a working permit, without any proof of work, you have to pay 14 months of rent, which is quite a lot. It's a big financial burden. And the way I solved this is that I went to borrow money from my parents, so to actually subsidize my living, and which, because I'm working right now, so I paid off that lend like as I made money.